Roberto Clemente died giving aid to that ass.
Poughkeepsie lungs. Yes. Can we just call it Poughkeepsie lungs?
That's fantastic.
Oh my God, Tom. I thought we were already best buddies, but man, you brought your A game this time, man. It's like every time we suggested something, you're like, oh, you want to bring it? Well, are you ready for what I'm going to bring?
I feel like there was like a really awesome reciprocity that went on today, because today for me began with Tom asking me for an opinion on the Huawei CEO transition plan, and it ended with me yelling at him in a Cockney accent to take off his shirt.
It really is all sides of the coin, isn't it?
It really is. We just keep making demands of each other that really are unreasonable.
But a 6-month rotating CEO at a Chinese company, is that a good idea given the cultural specificity of the business climate there, Justin?
I think you should take off your shirt now.
And that was the day.
And there we go. Oh. The rest was nonsense. It began, it ended. What else did you need to know?
That's really it. That's all you need to know. No, man, that was fun. And it's the level of trust that I have for you guys that as much as you threw at me, I was like, I just throw back, just bounce it back. This is going to be a good time.
I'll tell you what, it was a little intimidating, man. It was like, wow, dude, this guy is comfortable with a different level of game than I thought. I felt outclassed. I felt like I was like, I need a safe word.
Oh, no.
I mean,
no,
that's
what made it possible. If I was coming to this show not knowing you guys, I would have been intimidated.
Well, but listen, if there's one person on the planet that could be the third element of NSFW show, it's Tom. And really the only reason why that's not true is because it's the only show on the internet he doesn't host. So we feel like to keep him from hosting all of the shows on the internet, we have to keep one pure. And that's pretty much the only reason why you're not a regular part of this show.
Oh man, you're gonna make me cry. And then I'm going to read this passage again.
Man. Okay, let's go ahead and do our wrap-up stuff. We're going with Poughkeepsie lungs.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Vowel movement or testicores or what else? Yeah, we'll do Poughkeepsie lungs. Twerk or go home. Hitler's off the table. Too dry for vowels.
Have you seen this draw poll that's just jury versus Tom Merritt, beard bet? Oscar Gamble, Oscar Gamble, Oscar Gamble, Hitler.
That sounds like a dance song.
And everything.
Oscar Gamer, Oscar Gamer, Oscar Gamer, Hitler. Oscar Gamer, Oscar Gamer, Oscar Gamer, Hitler.
Well, Hitler's in the lead. Well, that's unfortunate for someone.
And there's Jim Bibby.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're calling it Poughkeepsie lungs, right?
Yep.
Are we on 198? I can't believe that, man. This is NSFW episode 198, recorded on October 1st, 2013. Poughkeepsie lungs.
All right, let me say this. Andrew Main just tweeted, if I were working on a big super secret project, I'd probably not tease it or even hint about it unless I would have news soon. I am so excited for him to have news soon because I'm not good at keeping secrets and I hate it. That's all I'll say.
It was, I'll tell you what, if there was some kind of secret and like you were asked to keep it from me for like months at a time, I would be really honored if it turned out that you like said, hey man, I messed up about keeping a secret from Brian. And then Brian was let into the circle of trust. That would be like a moment.
If there was like an emotional, theoretically, an emotional phone call where I had to break down and admit that there was a secret I had kept from Brian in early stages of a secret project.
Theoretically. Like in this hypothetical scenario, it had been months of Brian like scratching his head over like the most obscure facts. Like, wow, man, like Andrew Main's really not around much. And I just really wonder what's up. And then theoretically, I would imagine you would have to say something like, Oh, well, you know, he's doing things, whatever they are.
Let's just
And
say
then
I'll be really excited when we can not talk like retards and actually go over exactly what's going on. All right, let me do the thing. On this episode of NSFW show, we're joined by a very important author. We go over the trailer for the upcoming film adaptation of The Diamond Club and much, much more. See the Pirates win and the joy on my face as we watch NSFW show together. We are family after all.
Wow, now I want to watch.
There we go.
Can you, what if we had Tom read the sponsor reads? Can he do the billboards? Oh, no, wait. It's a surprise.
No,
when he
it's a
shows up. Never
surprise.
mind. Yeah,
right.
sorry.
Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that... Oh, sorry, hold on. I got to read the first part. This episode of NSFW show is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off, go to squarespace.com and use offer code NSFW10. And ProXPN. ProXPN is a virtual private network that allows you to use the internet the way it should be, anonymous and unfiltered. For 20% off your new account, go to proxpn.com/twit and use the code NSFW. We probably should, right? Should we redo both the ads? Bri?
Look, not gonna lie, I thought they were pretty great, but it's not for me to decide. Where if the
What was your
choice
call,
is-
fair or foul, Patrick?
all we did is
There was one. I think there were moments in both where we.
What was the Pro XPN moment? Pro XPN, I remember being okay, but
yeah,
What am I
that's what I
forgetting?
thought.
I
Well,
think
and plus also all we did on the Squarespace ad was, you know, compare Squarespace to a Lady of the Night in a favorable way, by the way.
well, there's only that one line that you say, Brian, that could potentially really cause trouble. You could just drop that out. Just have them edit that.
That's what I figure.
And the
Durham
commercial
90
was fine.
says you turned Squarespace into a lavish whore.
Yes, but you could edit it to stop short of the Lady of the Night part of it.
You
and
can
it's
cut all that stuff out.
By the
make
way,
Squarespace the sexy lady. Why do I look
the
like
founder of the Go Game, who is a St. Louis Cardinals fan, just texted me, "See you Thursday, bitch."
By the way, Justin, I don't know if you were paying close attention to my pennant.
I wasn't.
Why don't you read it again?
Oh, 1987 World Champions. Oh, look at you. Look at you.
I got this at the JCPenney outlet store after the World Series in '87 when the Cardinals lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, because they weren't. See,
Yeah.
because they
I
lost to
didn't
the
know.
Twins.
So, and you didn't even have to go to Nigeria. Look at you.
Back then, you just had to go to the south side of St. Louis to find stuff like you find in Nigeria.
Whoa, that was a really weird trick I just saw. What am I looking at?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just switched into my suit from this morning's Tech News Today.
That's really weird.
And I'm talking with my mouth closed a lot, right?
This is
Okay,
Tom
so-
looking at his phone as I text him that I'm going to be 10 minutes late for the show.
And me going, oh, crap. And him never getting that because iMessage was messed up.
Man, you look less authory all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
Tom, how do you feel about La Beta compared to your other books?
Honestly, this is the first one I feel like is worth reading.
Like, how do you
feel
mean
like
that?
everything else was crap?
Yeah, I mean, United Moon Colony's story was interesting, but it's not very well written. Boiling Point is a piece of crap. Lot Beta. Lot Beta, I'm like, there's problems with it. I'm not a very good writer yet, but this is decent. Like I'm okay with it.
Well, like what high praise compared to utter crap and I'm not a good writer.
I mean, if I really loved it, I would send it to an agent and see what they said. But I don't know if I'm quite satisfied yet.
Well, I mean, here's all I know is that, like, I know a fair amount. Luckily, I've been lucky enough to know creative people, and the one thing that they all do is send me things to read, either because for whatever reason they've mistakenly trusted my opinion on things, or they just, like any creative person, wants to have their stuff read and commented on by anybody. And for as long as I have known you, Tom, I was given your work by Andrew Main.
Oh, really?
Before you've ever sent me anything, which is to say you've never sent me anything.
Well, we sent you 10 State.
10 State, yes. No. You sent me 10 State, which I very much enjoyed. But yeah, that's like pretty much, I've read half of Boiling Point and 10 State. And that's all I've read of you. And 10 State I absolutely loved. Boiling Point is, I think an early work, like you said.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice way of putting it. It's an interesting idea for a story. I might revisit it someday.
No. Listen, if you were anything other than a really good friend, I would blow smoke up your ass.
Oh God. Yeah. No, don't. That would.
But no, you're right. It's a great concept, and if anything, like, I really appreciate that, like, at the point that you took on that story, like, you felt like you could take on that story. That's like an awesome instinct to have that leads to other greater things. You know,
my idea in doing this is to be able to write better stories. And so when I wrote Boiling Point, my whole point of ever self-publishing it or anything, I used to print it out at home and then give it to friends at the bookstore to read, because I just wanted them to tell me. And I would say, like, give me criticisms. Don't just tell me what you like, because that's what makes you a better writer. And so that's kind of what I've been doing with self-publishing United Moon Colonies and Lot Beta, is get it out there and find out what don't people like about it, what do they like about it, and take that as feedback.
Were these NaNoWriMo books?
Yeah, Lot Beta and United Moon
all
Colonies
of them are. It sounds like, yeah, right?
Boiling Point wasn't, because it was before NaNoWriMo existed, but the other two are, yeah.
Didn't you write a children's book about your dogs?
Yeah, I'm editing that right now.
Are you going to release that?
Yeah, I'll put it out.
Where does the children's book about your dogs rank amongst the other works? If it goes from terrible to I wasn't a good writer to I think I could show this to somebody, where does the Django and Sawyer book?
This isn't as good as Lot Beta by any stretch. It's a little bit too experimental to be taken seriously, because what I did with it was
Sawyer gets addicted to meth at some point.
I never acknowledge that they're dogs, but I don't allow myself to do anything that isn't dog-like or couldn't be explained as dogs. So they never get to speak in quotes. It's got to always be like, Sawyer then told Django about the guy.
Yeah. So, like, it suffers from that conceit in your mind?
Yeah, I think so. I think Justin, that might get a little...
Justin and Tom, I'd hate to do this, but I'm going to bolt. I've got a flight in 7 hours. Wow, it's been a while since I've been that guy, but I'm that guy today.
You're taking the belt back. The belt of I have a flight in 4 hours guy.
There it is. Sorry, guys. I have a flight in 7 hours.
All right, here, before you go, Tuesday. Brian.
What?
There's one thing I know that can keep you here.
What?
What do you think of your movie draft chances?
God damn it. Okay. No lie, Merritt. Like freaking seconds after we go off the air, the phone instantly rings and it's Justin, and we chat. And then my first
words are, I'm so not done talking about this.
So, all right, let me go to draft. We went back and looked at every other previous year and wrapped our minds around what the hell we were thinking.
No, we did a full nother episode of us breaking down. And by the way, during TNT today, somebody put in the chat room that I went back and did my professional deep dive analysis on what the projections are, and here they are. They had Jeff winning at 583, which would be about 100 million more than what Brian won with who won? Yeah, Brian, you won with last year. Big 100 million more.
By the way, Justin, if you're ever in one of those moments and you're trying to figure out, like, talking about the winner of a year, just you're better. The odds say you're best off just going with Brian, since statistically that seems to be the case. But keep going.
I'm better off going with Brian's mom. They had Casey coming in second, which is insane. Tell me how Casey's going to get to 300 million on those movies.
I'm trying to load up draft.nsfwshow.com right now, and I'm getting nothing, and it's driving me nuts here.
So here's the deal. The winter draft always occurs on frame rate. The summer draft is its own NSFW show because the NSFW summer draft is more important than the winter draft.
Right. So if, for example, you've won the summer draft more than once, that holds much more sway than also having won the previous winter draft. I agree with you 100%, Justin Robert. Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
I hate you. The burning anger that seethes inside of me.
All right. So yeah, draft.nsfwshow.com seems to be down for me, although draft.nsfwshow.com/form is available, and I believe you can still put your stuff in.
Casey has Gravity, Machete Kills, Freebirds.
That will make $20 million. There's no way. I will stake bet that it'll make less than 30.
Well, but she's got breadth, okay? She's got Gravity, Machete Kills, Freebirds, Last Vegas, Old Boy, Saving Mr. Banks, and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
None of those are hits. All right, give me a number for each of those. Gravity.
If Gravity makes 100, I mean, here's the thing: is people think of this in the terms of the summer draft, where everything comes out wide release. Half these movies are going to be like New York and LA for 3 weeks, and then if they don't do well in New York and LA, they won't go wide release. Like half those movies might not ever get released in a theater near you. Freebirds
so there,
will.
Tom.
Casey and I both have 7. We're tied for the most movies.
Mitsula says Las Vegas could be a sneaky movie. It ain't. Yeah. I mean, like, what's sneaky in the winter? Because all right, here. Hunger Games came out in the summer. The first one came out in the summer, made 400, right? In the winter,
no movie has ever made 400 in the winter draft in the history of the draft.
No.
It is projected to make 400 domestic, right? And that would be it taking the winter tax, right, off the fact that it's a sequel to a successful movie that was like critically well reviewed, that the actress is a way bigger star. I mean, like, imagine if Harry Potter or Twilight, that, Radcliffe or the Twilight girl had won an Oscar between doing the next movie. Like, she's just that much bigger of a person. This is going to at least make 400, and if it makes 500, it's over. Everybody should just bid for the Hunger Games, and that should have been it.
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm really impressed.
Yeah,
like my strategy, if I had like literally like $1 more or whatever it was between the two of us, my strategy was to spend all of my money on Hunger Games, and I was glad to see that it was your strategy as well. I would have given more money than I did or could, and you having spent that much for Hunger Games, I think was the smartest move. I think that you will be first or second place this year.
Well, it all depends. To me, it all depends on Bad Grandpa. If Bad Grandpa makes 100, then
you're set.
Oh, you're done. Yeah.
Good night, Moon.
You've got it bagged. Absolutely. Because then Hunger Games doesn't even have to make 400.
I mean, because like last year, you won with 480, right, Brian?
Yeah.
And I won with
by
471.
The way, the secret code, Winter 12.
I think I had 471 or something.
Which, by the way, that was the closest draft that has ever happened.
Yes.
Last year's winter draft was like 1 through 4 was separated by like 50 million. It was like a tiny fraction.
Dude,
And-
all in all, here's the thing. I hope Grandpa takes a dump, because if he does, then that means that you're starved
his
for
bowels
comedy.
are improved, and he's not going to die.
It means you're starved for comedy all the way up until Anchorman, and it's like Anchorman's going to make or break me. That's the only heavy hitter I have, and I think it'll do really, really well.
Anchorman's got a shot at 150.
Yeah. How you feeling about Ender's Game right now, Tom?
I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, I do know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was going on autopilot. I did not actually prepare for this. And I was looking at the Hollywood Stock Exchange, and based on the bids up to that point, what Ender's Game is projected to get should have been about 30 to 35, right? It didn't even cross my stupid mind to think like, well, nobody else is thinking that mathematically about this. They're all just going to go, ooh, Ender's Game, overpriced.
When you were in Petaluma and we were sitting next to each other for Twit, you said, someone's going to bid up Ender's Game. And then you you open bid 30.
I didn't bid up. That's the stupid thing. That's exactly what I did. Is I did math and then thought, all right, I'm going to open high, which I don't think that would have been a bad strategy. But if I'd been thinking like, people are probably going to say 15 to 20, I would have opened at 12, right?
Yeah.
To like kind of force that bottom up and see if I can get the bidding war to go up.
So you thought that Ender's Game was going to go for 40, 45,
I thought
right?
somebody was going to bid 31, 32. I didn't know if it would make it to 40, but I expected someone to counterbid me.
And keep in mind, the mere fact that it was ever projected above 100 or above 140 is pretty huge. So tell me this, gentlemen, where do you suppose this precipitous drop started from? Because that's this year. Like in May of this year, they were expecting it to do 150. You think the trailer was just crummy?
I think it just was a science fiction trailer. It wasn't like I don't
think the trailer was crummy. In fact, people liked the trailer. I think it's more of the mystery is better than the reality. That trailer comes out and they go, oh yeah, that looks good. I'm not going to go see it.
Well, it's just like, it's a space movie. There's kid actors. Like, it's way better when you're thinking about it in your head. And it's like, oh my God, it's going to be the epic that I know this story to be. If it's just a movie where there's a kid who just learned how to read lines 3 years ago, talking to an old Harrison Ford who could care less about being there, then, whatever. Harrison Ford's just way more excited to put his earring back in.
It's true.
Justin.
Harrison, is that you?
I'm going to phone this in.
Bum ba da ba, bum ba da, bum ba da ba.
All right. Well, look, here's if I was going to guess, I'm going to guess that Justin is the winner. Jeff is in second place. Tom is third.
I think that was my feeling.
Actually, Padre has a chance. Padre has a chance
because he has Thor. That's the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put myself at 5 and Casey last. I don't know what people are thinking. Casey.
Huh?
Who has Hobbit?
Who has Hobbit?
Who's got a habit? Pack the cat, habit yad.
The desolation of Jackson.
Man, I'm really disappointed. Not that Chat Realm often disappoints me, but I don't understand why this is not a thing.
Banana. 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 Banana.
Yeah.
Banana.
She's feeling it, man.
Banana.
Oh, wow. Ooh, the peel doesn't taste very good.
People are already calling it Neshcom.
Banana. 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 Banana.
Like I want to say, and by the way, people are like, we saw it last week. I'm like, yes. And last week we challenged our musicians to turn it into something amazing with like beats dropping and whatnot. And that didn't so much happen.
Yep.
That's fine.
Just couldn't improve
We
on
can't
it.
all be winners.
Hey, you guys, I got a plane to catch in 7 hours.
God damn. All right, but screw
We're
you
not going
guys. I'm outta
anywhere,
here.
Thomas.
Bye. Bye. I love you.
Aw, don't go away mad.
Yeah.
Just
That's
go
the
away.
secret to marriage, right?
Right.
Don't
go to
leave the
bed.
live stream mad.
Never go to bed. That's the secret to marriage.
Never go to bed.
Just stay up.
Tom, I don't feel like I am emotionally ready for playoff baseball.
I
Like-
understand, Justin.
I've
It's,
watched
it's
teams that I have like personally rooted for win and lose in all other major sports. Like the Heat recently lost and won championships. I watched the Steelers lose and win championships. The Penguins lose and win championships in close succession. The Pirates have never been relevant since I've rooted for baseball. Like it's
okay.
It's a bizarre concept to me.
Let me help you out, Justin. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you a story. I'm gonna tell you a little story. It's a young boy in Greenville, Illinois,
Okay.
Little League, first year. He gets drafted by the only team in Little League that doesn't have a sponsor. Okay.
Okay. Not
So-
even Chico's bail bonds.
No, Baumberger Whitlock, no 2 Acres Motel, nothing.
Okay.
So he has to wear the old-fashioned uniforms provided by the Park District, and all they say is Pirates.
Ah.
That team, with Brian A. Strike throwing probably 60 miles an hour, goes on to exceed expectations. This isn't a fairy tale Hollywood story. They only win second place, but they win second place.
Yeah.
And you know what happens, Justin?
What happens?
The next year, that team has brand new uniforms, and they are proudly the Quality Gas Pirates.
Oh.
But you know what they don't do?
You earned sponsorship.
They don't drop the Pirates name. They're not like 2 Acres Motel. They're not like Baumberger Whitlock Insurance. They insist that we are the Pirates.
Yeah.
We've come together as a team as the
You
Pirates.
sponsor the Pirates, right?
We are the Quality Gas Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of can-do spirit that your Pittsburgh Pirates are going to show this year.
They will be the Quality Gas Pirates.
They will be the Quality Gas of Major League Baseball Pirates. It's actually why I have that 79 World Champs Pirates pennant.
Oh, really?
Because I was in Little League at that time, and my parents go like, "Oh,
National
look, it's the
League.
Pirates, just like your team." It says World
National
Champs.
League.
Oh my God! Yeah, look at Patrick. Oh man, he wasn't so smug when his team was dissolving into dust, eating chicken and beer
It
last
was a
season.
rebuilding year for
Yeah,
their stomach.
that's great.
KFC.
Good for you. All right, here. Do you want to do 5 minutes of sports talk radio before we wrap up and preview the Pirates Cardinals series?
Yeah, sure. All right.
I feel like this is a series where, despite the fact that historically the Cardinals have owned the Pirates have the arms that are better served for a playoff series than a one-off, which they just won tonight. I thought they were more likely to lose a one game than lose a series because they've got a rotation that goes 4 deep. And like, you know, they burned Lariano in this series, but they still got Burnett. They still got Cole. Like, this is a formidable rotation that can play small ball with any team and knows the Cardinals lineup.
The problem with the Cardinals is going to be consistency. That has been their bane all year. This is a team that shouldn't be winning because they're plagued by injuries to the older players, but they have these amazing farm system guys that have come up and pick up the slack. But what that's meant is up, down, up, down. You don't get consistency. So if the Pirates come in with hot momentum out of this wild card series thinking, oh my gosh, we made it, that's going to be the undoing of the Cardinals. If the Cardinals get rolling and feel like, okay, we're in that same stretch like we've been where we can come back, right? Because Cardinals were up and down. They're in third place. They're in first place. They're all over the place. If they are the Cardinals that got into first place, you're done. Pirates won't be able to do anything because they're playing tight. That tone is going to be set by that first game. Whatever you see, Cardinals you see in that first game, that is going to tell the tale of the rest of that series.
Now, is it in the bats or is it in the Cardinals' arms? Like, is it in demonstrating that through those top, their top pitchers, that they can maintain that consistency, A, through the lineup, and B, if it comes down to those tight final games, that they can return those arms and really dominate?
I kind of feel like it's mostly in the arms. I think it's a little bit in the bullpen. The starters will be more solid because you can have a shorter rotation, so you have less variability. It's the bats that were always the things that weren't necessarily picking up the pitchers, because the pitching was never horrid all season long, and now you've got your strongest guys. Bullpen might explode though. That's the secondary thing, but I think it's mostly in the bats.
I'm terrified. I have no faith in the Pirates. I have had no faith in them all year. I root for them at my own peril. I've as a Pirates fan, I made a decision at a certain point in my life that I wasn't going to torture myself. That as soon as they fell 20 games out of first place, I wasn't going to be a glutton for punishment and seek out news and scores based on a team that had obviously a franchise and ownership that had not cared to win, that had just wanted to pocket money by the fact that Pittsburgh is a sports town and nothing else happens during the summer. So,
well, that's Pittsburgh's advantage. That's the Pirates' advantage, though, is you've got a lineup of young, hungry guys, and they're not even that young. I mean, McCutcheon's been around for a few years now, but I still think of him as young. Whereas the Cardinals are
he's still on the ascension of his career.
Yeah, but the Cardinals are Beltran and Holiday, and then Adams, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of two ends of the scale. Now, Pirates are all coming from the same direction.
Well, but they added, like the guys they added from the Mets, Bird, and they got Murnau from the Twins. He's certainly more in the veteran.
Yeah, I guess when I think of Beltran and Holiday, those guys still feel young. I mean, Murnau is up there. You're right. It's not quite as extreme. Yeah, it's a good point.
I really, like, to be honest, you can only be beaten so long without just thinking negatively about the Pirates. Like, I am ready to say, like, Cardinals in 4. Like, I don't think that.
Oh no, yeah, that's not going to happen. It's going to be 5. It's going to be more than 5. There's not going to be a sweep here.
And for anybody that is annoyed by this conversation, do me a favor, just think back on it and replace Pirates with Rivendell and Cardinals with Arrakis.
I was going to bring it up, Justin. Whoever comes out of this series has to face Gallifrey, most likely, in the NLCS. Which doctor are we going to see?
All right. The last, and this is super sports talk radio baseball topic, but I am so excited to see the Braves, who pretty much have made a living this season yelling at players that take anything other than a deep sprint running around the bases, that every unwritten rule of baseball they've punished by fighting them or yelling at them to play Yasiel Puig, who is annoyed his team, let alone the rest of his league, and how much he pimps out his trots and cares very little for the sanctity of the game of baseball. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and how are they going to cope with the Time Lord's defense? That's
Hey, there we go. Don't you mean Twagasa? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for joining us for this episode of NSFW. Tom, do you have a little a Bitly URL for Lot Beta yet?
No, I should probably do that, huh? I could do a bit.ly to the Squarespace.
Yeah.
I could do that in seconds. Paste a link to shorten it. Okay.
And then at some point in the next couple weeks, me and Tom are going to get together. We're going to record the stuff for the Kickstarter backers for the FSL season. And then we haven't even talked about whether or not we're going to do another Kickstarter. But if we were to do another Kickstarter, we'd probably start talking about it sometime in the next month or so.
Well, no, we did the last one in the spring.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh man, I guess
Remember
it's
we
just
did
like
it in March.
It's just so crazy thinking about like the fact that there's no like off season this year that we're gonna be like doing things, you know.
Oh, geez, this is. Well, bit.ly changed some stuff.
Bob McBob asks, Jury, dead serious here. Why don't you guys both do a Friday sports recap after TNT for 20 minutes before This Week in Law? I mean, I think, to be honest, like if at some point either me or Tom, and you can answer your side of this, but if either me or you came to the other one with like a really fun idea to do a sports show on Twit or a sports segment on Twit, I feel like we would both be into it. It's just a matter of like doing that without like completely going against the, you know, the wishes of people who are watching Twit or downloading Twit, you know, to listen to tech, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like people come to Twit for that.
Yeah. Like, or like that, like, listen, sports is a saturated market, like even beyond Twit, you know, like if me or Tom were able to think of like a fun way to talk about it, like in general, sports is a topic, we would probably do it by ourselves. Like we did FSL.
Sports for tech people.
I mean, but like, what is that? You know, although maybe it's just the fact that there's enough people that like the stuff that Tom does and the stuff that I do that might want to just listen to me and Tom talk about sports. You know, like there was enough people that wanted to listen to us talk about fake sports. So it wouldn't be the craziest idea on the planet.
Wow. I cannot get into bit.ly, and you have to be signed in now to customize a URL.
Yeah. I tried to do it the other day, and I was lucky that my least secure password was my password on bit.ly.
I guess the last time I signed into bit.ly, I wasn't using LastPass, which was probably like 2008.
Oh, God.
Because it's not in my LastPass vault. By the way, what I'm going through right now, Password Hell, is going to be made obsolete by Steve Gibson tomorrow on Security Now. I am not kidding you.
What is he talking about?
He has invented a method to essentially eliminate the need for passwords and securely log into any site.
Is this a big... I mean, like, I'll tell you what, we were talking about doing sports radio. This is a big sports radio tease here for you.
It is.
Coming up next, a way to securely log into any site without a password. Ba-na-na, ba-na-na.
This is Security Now, brought to you by Budweiser.
I could not be more excited for the new the Mob City series on TNT that they're showing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the new Frank Darabont with Shane from The Walking Dead.
He's like, now that they've kicked me out,
me and my gigantic, obscene earlobes can finally make its way to another show.
All right. I finally got in. And let's see if I can customize it. I think it worked. Okay, bit.ly/lot-beta. I'm testing it now. It works. Cool.
So wait, Oberman's on
That was a lot harder than I thought it should be.
Oberman's on
he's
the
on
TBS.
the TBS coverage. Yeah, I noticed that today. Weird.
You went all Cylon, by the way.
I said by Arcaman.
That's crazy. Why would he be on the? I mean, all right. I guess like ESPN's just like kind of relaxing their stuff a little bit.
I don't know. It's not like TBS is owned by Disney.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess.
Oh my gosh, have you seen Battle of the Stash yet?
No.
Tom
What's
Merritt, the contender, versus Justin Robert Young, the king.
Wait, what?
Battle of the Stash.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, are you? Mitsula said that Larry King is filling in for the Olbermann show on ESPN this week. That's insane. Battle of the Stash. Patrick, can you bring that up? 'Cause I can't.
I got it up.
What? That's hilarious. Oh, that's
Can't wait for
excellent.
It's my favorite movie, Battle of the Stash.
All right. Well, Tom, I feel like this was a successful show. We built to a big teasy crescendo with our stash war.
Yeah,
Always a pleasure. We
absolutely. Thank you, sir. And you don't know just how humbling and flattered it makes me to say that you even would pretend to say that I would be the third chair at NSFW show. That is too much.
You want to know what the funniest thing about that is? Is that like that was like Brian first, like from, I don't even know if it was BB Live show, if it was NSFW. Like it was like way early on. Like the first time that we brought you on, it was like just like the like one of the first like jokey ideas that like, oh, like I'll joke about other people who are more like famous to me and popular in general, that I would be like, oh yeah, no. His name's not Tom Merritt, it's Tomas Merritt. Like that was like the first time that like that idea of like the character that's what I would say kind of popped up. And it's like, it's just very odd that like from that point you fit not only so well on the show, but like we all kind of got to know each other and now I'm friends with you. Like it's just, it's so silly to think that like it was natural before I knew you to joke with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's cool.
And like now it just seems like, oh, of course, like, you know,
Well, yeah,
exactly. If it weren't the fact that like he was doing a million different things and like, it's almost like it's more fun to have you on this show than to be like, oh my God, you should always be on the show, because like that way, you know, like you can come on and just do whatever you want, you know? Like,
yeah, that's true.
It's
it's a special event rather than like, oh, here comes Merritt with his sweater shtick again every week.
Well, I mean, like, well, it's the same way with like, you know, TNT or something like that, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, it's really fun for me and Brian to kind of come on and do that in a way that like, I don't know if either of us would be really fit to like do it all the time, you know, but every once in a while, like if fucking,
Bell.
if, no, that's not it. Although I'll tell you what, I feel like Molly Wood on Twit this week, she made a joke at the end that there could be a point counterpoint with me and her. And then on my way back, I was like, well, if it was a point counterpoint, it would be Young Wood, which is SEO friendly.
You think I'm pink? Wait until you saw my wife.
Oh yeah, that was a fun episode.
That was
episode
super
rocked.
fun. That was great. I was talking to Scott Johnson today, and he was like, he was like, oh, that was a really great twit. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know how, like, by accident I ended up on that panel, because it was all these Buzz Out Loud people that were like, obviously have this super deep, awesome, rapport with each other that are going back and forth and, passing around jokes that, were born years ago. And he was like, well, the funny thing is that on I guess one of your big milestone episodes, Scott was on.
Yeah.
And
The
like
1,000th episode.
yes, the 1,000th episode, which I've always not said this the right way. And he was like, I had no idea why I was on that show, but I saw you on that panel. And I'm like, well, there's a little something that me and Justin have in common.
We had him on the 1,000th episode because we wanted to have friends of the show. And then he made it even better by saying, I have big news. And I didn't know he was going to do it. And he's like, I'm quitting my job and going full-time frog pants and freelance.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
And geez, sort of paid off for that guy, huh? What's he up to now, Scott Johnson? Is he still doing well?
I haven't heard from him since this morning.
Me neither.
When I sent him 7 text messages in a row after I rebooted my iPhone accidentally.
Did he get him?
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, there are all the text messages you've been sending me. They all came at once. Yeah. Now, if you want to know how that happened on Sunday, Chad had the idea to do a Buzz Out Loud reunion. So he had sent out all these emails, and the only person that got back to him was Natalie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess we could do Natalie and Jason. And I'm like, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem right without Molly or Veronica or, to bill it as a Buzz Out Loud reunion. I was like, get Jury. Because I have this idea that you and I could do a kick-ass news show.
Yeah.
And so that was in my mind. It's like, oh, it'll be Natalie, Jury, and Chad's like, great. Who else you want? And I threw out a few names. Next thing I know, he's like, oh, Molly finally got back to me. She's on the show. And I'm like, oh, well, now we have Molly and Natalie. So that morning, I emailed Jason. I'm like, hey, Molly and Natalie are going to be on Twit. Do you want to surprise swing by and join? And he's like, sure. And then I'm like, okay, now it is a Buzz Out Loud reunion.
Yeah.
Oh, well, worked out great.
No,
Actually,
it was really fun. And also it was a real advance booking for me on Twit because I've joked around a lot that the best way you too can get booked on Twit if you talk to Chad Johnson between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific time at all about anything. Literally, just call him and say, how's the weather? And he'll say, oh, it's pretty good. Do you want to be on Twit? Because somebody just dropped out. That will literally, you can get on. That's all you need to do is if you have Chad Johnson's number, call him between those hours because he will book you on Twit.
Hey, you're alive and breathing, right? Yeah. Okay.
So what are you doing today? And then he'll do that thing where he reaches his hand around his head and reaches his head.
Did you see the video I made of him picking me up at the airport, driving me to lunch?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched most of it.
You just watched your part when you.
No,
when you
I
show
watched up to you getting to Petaluma, and then I stopped watching.
Yeah,
but I saw your planes joke, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, that was happenstance. But yeah, it was fun. That's the longest time I think I've spent with Chad.
He's a really annoying guy, right?
No, it was great.
No, he's the best. Chad's the best. I love Chad. I'll tell you what.
Posted Bob McBob. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AceDetect. All right, I got to play the catch in 6 hours.
Cheers.
Not really. I don't.
I know.
But
all right, guys. I'm out of here too.
See y'all.
Raise the Jolly Roger. Beat 'em Bucks.
Go Cards. Fly Redbirds fly.
I'm looking for something very special from NSFW episode 9.
Oh my God. Am I still on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still on. Remember when I said bye? Well, I'm not.
Well,
we are going to look for something. It's going to eventually be from NSFW episode 9. 999. Can I read us a sketch comedy monologue? No. I download the latest Jury podcast, and you'll find a sketch comedy, couple sketch comedy sketches.
All right, it should be coming up here. I think you forgot about this.
On America's Got Talent, I have breaking news. As always, the chat room just solves mysteries. We might as well call them Gumshoe the chat room because all they do is solve the problems in our lives. I think they figured out why Greg Grunberg only gave us a paltry amount of followers.
Why is that, sir?
He wrote it as at Justin R. Young. Justin R.
Purple
There it
Paradise
is.
by Molly Wood. What?
I can't make it stop. I don't know how to make it.
Did you forget she was on NSFW?
No, I know. I knew
Is
she
it in
was.
night
Okay.
vision mode? Is that what's going
For
on?
like 5 seconds, right?
Next time you'll
She
listen
dropped
to
off.
Mr. Wonka.
That's right. He
But I
told
thought
you.
it would add to the effect of drunkenness.
That's right. We'll just pretend that this is like a point of view camera. Like
Oh,
when I get
Jesus.
really
Chad looks
stoned,
like this.
We'll just pretend this is how
He's
I
like
see you
9
right
years
now.
old.
And in fact, I'll just kind of jiggle it around back and forth. Well,
Like
so
a podling with the black eyes.
wait, you don't have black eyes? What are you talking about?
Well, I do in the night vision.
In the night vision, yeah, you do look a little bit like you said the
Yeah,
wrong
I
thing to
can't. I don't.
over dinner.
I'm gonna play with things.
All right, well, here's the game, all right? Now, by
All
the
right.
way, we've already set everything up. Everyone knows we're playing Internet Never Have I Ever. You are familiar with the game. Is that correct?
Oh my God. So here's the funniest part about that is Molly drops off and then we bring on Patrick Norton, who's the sub, not realizing that is he a recovering alcoholic? Patrick Norton?
I don't know for sure.
He
I
is
don't wanna say.
not a non-drinker, to be fair. I believe he's a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, I
And,
know he doesn't drink.
Yeah, no, but he made points to say that like there had been, he had crazy drinking stories, like every recovering alcoholic does. So he's not big on the alcohol. So yeah, whatever. Sober since college. That's it. And that was awkward. I put the capital A in awkward.
Don't you mean Twigossip?
Don't you mean Twigossip?
All right. Yeah, we can go into reruns with the special episode of Twigossip.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the internet's hottest pop culture gossip show. We are all about Twitter. We are all about gossip. That is why we are Twigossip. You got that right, Brett Rounseville. I am here, as always, of course, with my co-host Brian Brushwood, the most exciting man in the pop culture world today. Brian?
Something about Monica Lewinsky.
Yes, he has all sorts of hot facts up in this hood, yo. And today, our special guest, as always, Max Chip.
Max Chip, what's up?
What up,
Hello,
yo?
ladies. How you doing? It's me, Max Chip, ready to get into some Twitter gossip.
You mean Twigossip?
Oh, someone said it.
Oh, you got me good.
All right, Max, who are we looking at first today? Who's up on the chopping block at Twigossip?
Well, we got some hot for gossip right now. That fine piece of woman, Britney Spears, has said that she loves pizza.
Oh, snap. Brian Brushwood, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's obvious that when you tweet like that, you can't tweet from anywhere but the heart. It's got to be a true, sincere love of pizza, and I, for one, will be watching the stocks when it comes to Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and even DiGiorno's. Brett?
I agree. Those kind of fanfares from Britney Spears himself is going to do nothing but drive pizza stock up into the stratosphere. Max, who do we got next?
Whoa, 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 whoa. We got some breaking news from Lil Jon. It seems as if the crunk rapper is going fishing in Vladivostok, Russia. He adds, yeah!
Clearly the words of a man that loves his fishing. Brian?
Oh, let me tell you, man, if I could go back in time and buy stock in Russia, I would have already bought it.
That's true. Words like that from a man like that is going to do nothing but send the stocks of fish up into the stratosphere.
Yeah!
Max? Who else do we have?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Brett, because I got some twassop. Oh, that.
You
ass.
mean Twa-gossip?
I thought that's what I said. Don't make me say it twice. Lady Gaga says, I just got my little monster stuck on the side of my leg. Girl, when you gonna stop playing?
This is intense, Max Chip. We're getting into some hard-hitting news now, Brian Brushwood. What do you think she meant by little monster?
I don't know.
Another insightful commentary from Brian Brushwood. Little monster, in the parlance of Lady Gaga, can do nothing but send monster stock straight up into the stratosphere.
You got it right. I already bought. I'm gonna sell my Monster Mash album on eBay.
If we can find that on Laserdisc, we're set for the gold. Max, what are your thoughts?
It looks as if Kim Kardashian is pulling up the rear in this segment. And I
You
don't
mean
that
Twa-gossip?
fat booty of hers. That's what I like to call that two-cheek monster she keeps below her back. My little Twa-gossip. Yeah. She writes, no boo with no boo. Just the fam tonight. It's a family tradition amongst the Kardashians. And I, for one, for it.
And what was the character count on that, Max Chip?
I'm going to say this one weighs in at 97 characters.
97 characters. That is a new record for Miss Kardashian, if I'm correct. Am I correct, Brian Brushwood?
Oh man, I can't even count that high. If I could find stock in characters, I would.
All right, gang. It looks like that bound does it for this week of Twa-gossip. Max, do you have anything to pitch?
Yeah. I'd like to pitch my MySpace page. Chip@myspace.org. If you're not there, you're not at my MySpace page. You're somewhere else. I love you.
Oh, that does it for us, Brian Brushwood.
Oh man, this is the best week ever.
You mean Twa-gossip?
Take us out, Chad.
Oh, God. Who came up with these names?
You mean Twa-gossip?